Hello everyone and welcome back to Metal Gear Solid, the board game. Today we're up to stage 7, which is another boss battle. This is Cyborg Ninja, aka Grey Fox. Snake infiltrates into Otocon's lab and finds Otacon being accosted by the ninja, who threatens him to the point where Otacon wets himself and then hides in a cupboard. So his model isn't actually required, but this is the locker he hides in, so I thought it'd be funny just to put him in there. So he's going to be there. Meanwhile, the ninja attacks Snake, telling him to hurt him, and just he wants them to have a battle for the sake of battling. This is based on the history between the two, which you get enough of in the video game, but if you wanted the full story you'd actually have to go back to pre-Metal Gear Solid, to the Metal Gear 1 and 2. I can't remember which one focuses on Grey Fox. I think it's 2, but either way, that's kind of like where their history stems from, and you know, Metal Gear Solid is kind of the Metal Gear game that took off and became super popular. So when I was a kid and I played this, I was like, where's all this history coming from? What are we talking about? What happened in Zanzibar? And they do eventually explain enough that you kind of get the idea. But as I say, if you want the full story, you have to go back further than that. Because Kojima likes connecting all his games, even if some has to break old canon and retcon and other stuff. But that's a story for another day. We're on to a boss battle. So let's go look at the specifics of how we deal with the ninja. So let's talk about his stat card. You may have seen he has an AI deck. I put it to one side here. I'm just going to shuffle it on camera to prove that I've shuffled it. Although honestly his cards are mostly the same. I looked through them a little bit beforehand, so it doesn't really matter. But hey, he needs these ghost tokens, or shadow tokens, apologies, of which you get 4. So he attacks you with one single black die, but he is capable of doing more damage. Single player means he has 12 health, and I am just going to be using Snake since it is a one-on-one battle in the video game. And he has a defense stat of 4. He has a bunch of special rules. First one is basis of all combat. Only hand-to-hand and combo attacks deal damage to Ninja. Each time Ninja attacks, he attacks all players orthogonally and diagonally adjacent to him. At the end of each player's turn, Ninja attacks. Okay, if you had Merle here as well, which you're allowed to have if you want to, after each individual turn, he gets a turn. It's not once every player has had a turn. Hurt me more. Each time Ninja is dealt exactly 2 damage. So exactly 2. So if he gets dealt more than that somehow, this won't happen. Reveal the top card of the boss deck and resolve the reaction. Then return that card to the bottom of the deck. Hurry up and catch me. When Ninja or a shadow token would be placed on a numbered space already containing a figure or a shadow, place it in the next one numerically. And if you're cycled round to 8, it says go to 1. There is the numbers 1, 2, 8 on the table. You'll see that as we play. Shadows. When attacking, Ninja rolls +1 black die for each shadow on the map. If there's ever 4 plus shadows, deal 1 damage to each player, then remove them all. And then maximum aggression. When moving Ninja, he moves along the shortest path. If there's more than one shortest path, choose the path that allows him to attack the most players. When placing Ninja adjacent to a player, always place him in a space that allows him to attack the most players, otherwise the players choose. So that is about it. Let's go see how I've set up Snake. So I don't have anything to fill a slot in Snake's inventory, so I brought up his pistol anyway, even though we're not allowed to use it. And beyond that, I've just brought 2 rations. So besides that, he's got his focus skills. It is worth noting that in the video game, you are able to shoot the ninja with guns. It's not easy because he does a lot of deflections if you shoot him directly from the front, but you can get him in a position where guns do damage. Maybe it's not by design, like you're kind of breaking the AI a little bit, but you can hurt him. So yeah, we're relying on CQC for this boss fight, and it's the bog standard boss reference card you hide over there on your card. So with that, I think we're ready to jump in and see how this plays out after this quick word from my channel sponsor. This video is sponsored by Noble Knight Games. Check out the video description below for an affiliate link that will take you through to their store, and it will help me out as well. Thanks. Alright, let's begin, and just the last note, there is all the numbered points at which shadows can appear. I don't know why they don't go fully in numerical order, like 7 is in the top right, but 8 is down here. So, let's get started. Snake is going to move for 1, and then we shall CQC combo attack for 2, leaving us with 1 action after that. So our combo attack, we have to get 4s and over. Noise doesn't matter for this, if that isn't already obvious. So at this point we'd only be doing 1 damage. I will take that and take the 1 damage to Grey Fox. We have 1 action left. I will do a basic hand-to-hand combat strike, which is a single white die. Because in this instance that means I haven't dealt exactly 2 damage, so I'm trying to avoid that reaction. We got him, so that is 2 damage. I end my turn, and he does a thing. and see what. Move 2 spaces towards the nearest player in line of sight. Well, no need for that. And then attack. If he has 7 plus damage taken in total, place a shadow on number 6. So he places more shadows as the battle gets more intense. Alright, so he's just attacking with 1 die currently, and this goes on the bottom of the deck. And he's needing a 3 plus. And he got it. I could reduce that by 2, but that wouldn't be enough. I'd have to make him re-roll it. I will take the 1 damage. So that's 1 of Snake's 4 health. And then we roll right back around to me again, and I see no reason not to do 2 CQC attacks. So let's start with the CQC, which costs 2 actions of my 4. Okay, so right now I'm doing exactly 2 damage, which will trigger a reaction, which will probably make him move. So I'm going to use up my +2 to turn this into a 5, and then I've done 3 damage, which means I can take away those damage points and put a 5 there. And because it was not exactly 2 damage, his hurt me more does not trigger, and that means he's still standing there. And then I'm going to use my other 2 attacks for another CQC. And this time we're only hitting him for 1, which is fine by me. I'll take the 1, and that's half his health already. I think as long as I try and make sure I don't do that exact 2 damage, we're going to be okay until he starts getting close to death, I guess. His card. If a player is exactly 3 spaces away, place Ninja on number 4. Nope. Otherwise, place him adjacent to the player with the least health. Snake if tied. Oh yeah, because he hates Snake. Then attack. If he's taken 8 plus damage, nope, he has taken 6. Okay. So we're getting close to the threshold where he's going to start putting shadows down, so I'm going to have to start moving. I think I covered how to deal with them, did I? You deal with them by being adjacent to or on them. You're not allowed to shoot them, sadly. But either way. So he's attacking, and it's just 1 die. Again. But he only needs a 3 plus. And he failed. Okay, good. I'll take that. Alright, move the camera in a little bit because we're going to see some more CQC action here. I bet this will be the turn where he moves now that I've decided to move the camera in closer because he doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So 2 actions for a CQC, and that's a big whiff. I'm going to take that whiff, unfortunately. Then I'm going to restore the +2 focus, which leaves us with 1 action, and I'm just going to do a basic hand-to-hand. So 1 white die. And thank goodness this isn't a sneaking mission. I have rolled so many 1s. So that was a fail of a turn. We did nothing there. Ninja's card. If a player is exactly 2 spaces away, nope. Otherwise, place him adjacent to the player with the least health and then attack. If he has taken 10 plus damage, he would make a shadow, but no. Oh yeah, and if you haven't noticed, all his reactions, which would be for dealing exactly 2 damage, it's him flipping around and like vanishing. I feel like it shouldn't have said exactly 2 damage, because otherwise with 1 player it is pretty easy to just kind of keep him here. Anyway, he's attacking. And he hits me for 1. And I'll take the 1. And then it rolls back around to our turn. I'm going to use one of our rations to heal the 2 damage we've got, because that's how much it heals. So we're back to full health. We have 3 actions left. Let's do some CQC. And that means we have 1 action left. So that is currently precisely 2 damage. This is what we want to avoid. I will use the +2 that I replenished to make this a 4 as well. And we hit him for 3. Which is really good. So we healed, we did CQC, we have 1 attack left. And I'll just do a bog standard punch. And we got him, so that's him up to 10 in total, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 5, so yeah, we're up to 10 damage. This is very easy, if you don't let him move, or play into, as I say, that should have just said like 2 damage in a turn or something. I don't know why it specifies exactly 2 damage. Well, either way, his card, he's probably going to make a shadow off the back of this with how much damage he has. Place Ninja adjacent to the player, not in the same row or column as him, if able, Snake if tied. Well, shall we make him move just for fun? Because he does like leaping around during the fight. If he's taken at least 10 plus damage, yes he has. Place a shadow on number 2. So that's next to Otacon, up there. There we go. Does it say he attacks? Yes, he is attacking. So because there's a shadow on number 2, he's now rolling 2 black dice. But, yeah, he hit me for 2, so that's 2 wounds to Snake. I feel like I can just go for the kill here. The alternative would be walk dash rather, for 2. that shadow goes away, and then I could heal to be safe. I'm just going to CQC, and then we'll go from there, see what happens. So, CQC for 2 actions, and that's currently only 1 damage. And I'm going to use the reroll to reroll this. I'm still not sure if you're allowed to reroll everything, so that would still mean it's a miss. So we've only done 1 damage, and I have 2 actions left, so we'll just CQC again. I'm taking a risk, actually, because well, I could also just heal. I need one of these 3 dice to be a 4+. Whatever, let's just do it. Thank goodness it got exactly enough. I almost died there. In fact, I'll show you what I mean, but that is 12, so we actually have just 1 there, because as it turns out, his AI is really easy to manipulate as long as you don't do exactly 2 damage. With Snake's +2s and so I keep forgetting, oh that's what I forgot to mention in the last video, I kept forgetting to make use of Snake's I work alone. Could have been doing that here as well. Once per round, as long as you have no friendly players within 2 spaces, you can plus or minus 1 from any die result. Oh, it's when using a weapon actually, so it wouldn't have been relevant here, never mind. But would have been when I was using the Nikita last time. So what I mean by that is, say I completely messed that up and I couldn't have done anything, he would draw a card which will tell him to attack me, move 3 spaces, then attack, and he has taken 4+ damage, so his shadow would go on 4, which would be here, and then he'd be rolling 3 dice against me, and he only needs 2 of these to be 3+. So yeah, he would have won right there if I'd messed that up. But we have successfully beaten Grey Fox. It's me from the future here, just popping in to mention before I go over the finale and what happens next in the story. I totally forgot to cover on camera, there is an unlockable bit of equipment for finishing stage 7, so I'm recording this after I did all the outro and stuff, but you'll see it before that. Just to say, we earned equipment item number 11, which is medicine. Oh, this is the diazepam, isn't it? Use any time during your turn to refresh your focus tokens, then discard this card. That's pretty cool, actually. So maybe it's not then. Maybe there is another item that helps you with sniping. So that is now added to our repertoire of potential upgrades. Now back to me in the past, going over the outro. Well, that was a quick one. After defeating Grey Fox, Snake works out who he is. He remembers Grey Fox and what happened in Zanzibar, and then he kind of starts freaking out and runs away and kind of cloaks and leaves. Which in the graphic novel that came with the Integral edition, whoops, sorry Snake, they've just made him go wah, which they probably shouldn't have done. Like, sure, just cut off that W and just have him screaming, because that's what he is doing in the video game. Don't make him say wah. That was not a good choice of word to put in there. But anyway, he saves Otacon, and they have a really, really long conversation about the nature of nuclear weapons and what he was doing for Metal Gear and the Metal Gear project. He didn't know that it was fully armed, and he is on Snake's side. They kind of team up, although he has some personal stealth camo and opts to kind of sneak away because Snake says, hey, you'll just slow me down. But they talk about the weaponry that's on Metal Gear Rex, a railgun, missiles, and the capability of firing via, what is it, the railgun, a nuclear weapon, which means it technically doesn't violate international treaties because it's not launching a missile, it's like chucking it via railgun. I'm not sure if that's nonsense or not. Probably is, in terms of it not violating international law. They keep talking, they talk a lot, and there we go. He stealth camos, he leaves, and Snake is tasked with once again hooking up with Merle and finding where she is. And oh, it skips right to finding her, in fact, which I know what that means then. He finds Merle disguised as a guard. They have a really long conversation about the nature of women in battle, and then we're going to do some nasty stuff next time, because Chapter 8 is another boss fight. So I guess we can show the lead in. Everybody knows this boss fight is pretty famous. Merle starts getting mind controlled, and Psycho Mantis appears behind her, and Snake has no choice but to fight Psycho Mantis while also trying to stop Merle shooting either him or herself. I'm not going to show you the next page because it has details about the fight. It's a special one, and I'm looking forward to talking about it because it's got a little gimmick that I don't know if I want to spoil it yet. You know what? We'll spoil it next time. Let's end that off there. Thank you very much for watching. I know that was a short one. The next one is going to be another boss fight, so it's probably going to be short one way or t'other. But that's okay, we'll get back to sneaking missions after that, and... Ooh, who's beyond that? Sniper Wolf, probably. It will be the next boss. We're at the point in the game where there's actually a lot of boss fights very close to one another, and then there's a bit more sneaking before the finale. So either way, hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. These videos are available early to channel members as a thank you for their support they're willing and able to show. I'd appreciate it if you did the same, but just liking and commenting on the video helps as well. Until next time, ta-ta for now.